In other words, we need a black woman. We need a black woman.
She's not going to be fired. Yeah.
No, she's not going to be fired because she's black.
Telling them that they're special because of the color of their skin and the ideas you bring, and you don't have to be smart anymore.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, they have run over the educational system.
I mean, yeah, this lady, Claudine Gay, she looks like a face of Marxism.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she just looks it.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen these congressional hearings all over the news, and so now we're at Harvard. Take a look at this.
Back at Harvard.
This girl is
We embrace a commitment to free expression, even of views that are objectionable, offensive, hateful. It's when that speech crosses into conduct that violates our policies against bullying, harassment.
Does that speech not cross that barrier? Does that speech not call for the genocide of Jews and the elimination of Israel?
According to the Harvard Crimson, the university's student newspaper, Harvard President Claudine Gay will stay in her role following a wave of backlash from last week's congressional hearing on campus anti-Semitism. Members of Harvard University's faculty sent a letter to the Harvard Corporation, the university's governing body, urging the university not to oust the president in an hours-long meeting. The Harvard Corporation said in a statement, quote, "Our extensive deliberations affirm our confidence that President Gay is the right leader to help our community heal and to address the very serious societal issues we are facing."
All right. So, in other words, we need a black woman. We need a black woman.
She's not going to be fired. Yeah.
No, she's not going to be fired because she's the right societal issues we are facing. We know the code. The code. And you know, again, in case you guys have not been following this story, you know, this is this Harvard president. She's come out and she basically is not standing up against these anti-Semitic remarks.
No. So I watched the hearings, and you know the three college presidents, and I forget the other lady who was a researcher, but one of them was fired or she resigned.
University of UPenn,
right?
Oh, she was fired.
Yeah, and the other two are still there. So the other two are still in their positions. But what's interesting when I watched it, and they were being challenged very well. Elise Stefanik did an excellent job with her questions, and questioning them. They don't get it. They don't get it, or they willingly ignore even their own, compulsory, whatever, thinking that they want to force conformity. So they didn't mention one of the professors that was fired and he's rehired was Roland Fryer, because his ideology didn't match theirs. And he was a black guy doing some excellent research. He's rehired, but they basically demoralized this man in his research because he didn't find the right findings that they wanted with regarding police brutality against black people. Harvard, University of Penn, MIT, all of these Princetons, even Stanford, these Ivy Leagues, this is where these racist ideas have generated and where they fickle down into the mainstream. Because at one time we were getting over, if you will, all this racial identity. And who brought it back up? From the academics, because we are so in awe of all these people with titles and experts, and we think they are, they know everything and they are all, but they are ruining our society.
Yeah, and the jig is up. I mean, these people are not smart, and they've allowed themselves to be manipulated by the bottom half of their school. Like Thomas Sowell and Walter Williams was actually talking about when they were professors and the affirmative action. Like let's just go ahead and throw it out there. You get some people who would do really, really well at a lower class school, but you put them in a Harvard where you're supposed to have thinking, and they end up at the bottom, and they think that they're at the bottom because of their color, but no, you're at the bottom because somebody put you there and
you didn't need to be there.
And so now those people are now feeling guilty and then putting them in positions of leadership, telling them that they're special because of the color of their skin and the ideas you bring, and you don't have to be smart anymore.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, they have run over the educational system, destroyed these institutions, and that's kind of what gender ideology and race ideology.
They check all the boxes. They check all the boxes.
It destroys.
I mean, yeah, this lady, Claudine Gay, she looks like a face of Marxism. Like, she just looks, and the way, I mean, she's covering for hate speech.
Right.
Like, she literally said, it's okay if there's hate speech.
Right.
And as long as and what was it? They said they have to start like literally.
It doesn't turn into conduct. It doesn't turn into action.
So we have to wait for them to start attacking. Like we can't stop hate speech. Basically, she's saying. But if it was coming from
the other direction,
they would stop it right away. So
and they have,
exactly.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, you take a look at an excerpt from the Harvard's mandatory Title VII training session, according to Washington Examiner, for undergraduate students contains a power and control wheel that helps students identify harmful conduct. So attitudes that, and I quote, contribute to an environment that perpetuates violence, end quote, include sizeism and fat phobia, cis heterosexism, racism, transphobia, ageism, ableism. So the training presents scenarios, one of which involves Andre, who repeatedly uses the wrong pronouns and comments on Logan's outfits, hair, and nail polish, and makes remarks about Logan's gender identity, which contribute to a climate of disrespect and may also violate Harvard's policies. So if you say a man is a man, you may be violating Harvard's policies. But if you say, Jews need to be murdered, you're okay. You can stay on campus.
What she said was legally and true from the First Amendment. You can say stuff that upsets other people. The problem is that it goes against Harvard's policy, because in America, you have no right to quote unquote not be offended by something that someone says. You can say whatever, and somebody can be offended, and somebody might like it. We have that right as the First Amendment. So that's not the problem. When Harvard starts removing or suspending other people that they have historically, and not just Harvard, other universities, because it goes against their stated policy, but now they're not enforcing it. So that is the main problem. And the bigger problem, at least from my perspective, is that these schools that have billion-dollar endowments get federal, your money, my money, all of our money, federal funds. Why? They don't need it, number one, and they shouldn't be getting it because they're private institutions. Let them fund their own foolishness.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. The problem is the bias. I mean, you could say that I stand on that. Now, I don't have to like it. I don't have to hire you. I don't have to give you my money. I don't have to give you a job. I don't have to have you around me. But I do believe that you have the right in this country to say whatever you want to say. But the problem is the bias. And I'm telling you, every white person, I release you right now to say nigga, 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 nigga. Just say it, because these people are playing games. Just say it. I release you. Tell them come see me. Say Crystal said I can say nigga, 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 nigga.
Yeah, I mean, and like you mentioned, they are being governed by the policies within Harvard, but it's not being evenly put out. It's not being evenly put out. And so they're picking and choosing. If you go against their woke, crazy agenda, you can get kicked out, but you can't get kicked out for being anti-Semitic.
It's the same double standard that we were just talking about. It's the same exact thing. It's okay for them to be racist, to be hateful, to call for genocide. But if we say anything, like you were saying about, like, if we
what was I saying, Yana? What I say? What I say, Yana? What I say?
Trans women are not women. We can't even say that.
And someone posted,
or get that homosexuality is a disease. I can't say that. I believe it's a mental issue, and I don't care what anybody says.
How many conservatives have needed thousands of dollars worth of security just to go give a speech on these campuses?
Right, right. And someone just talks about not only is this woman supporting anti-Semitic comments and going against the Harvard policy, but she's also a plagiarist.
Plagiarist.
She's a plagiarist. She's plagiarized our girl
Carol Swain.
Right, Carol Swain, other people she's plagiarized. They've come out and said it's blatant plagiarism.
Well, she's probably affirmative action person.
Yeah, I saw something posted yesterday that she's going to be. She resubmitted some things to be re-edited or something like that.
Yeah, but
she doesn't look. I don't think she earned. Like she probably was placed in her position. She didn't.
Of course,
these people are not smart.
Notice that they all were women.
Right.
And then and it's so funny. They're all gay. They all identify by who they sleeping with. It's just so weird. Like nobody cares that you're gay. Nobody cares that you're straight. Sis, go get a life. And my thing, like I said, is that why are they being allowed? They're getting paid. I'm sure she's getting bank. Mm-hmm. She's getting
of course
bank. And we're just kind of acting like it's okay.
But we need to acknowledge.
When I think about, but how about, I'm just thinking, these institutions, this higher level educational institution, where are we supposed to people who have children, like if they are really bright and they want to go to a high level institution, where are they supposed to go at this point?
Hillsdale.
Yeah.
Hillsdale. Yeah. I mean, that's the only one.
That's the only
college.
But you know what? Bright people will succeed and become successful anywhere. You don't necessarily need these Ivy League environments, for them to succeed. But another thing we need to point out is, these Ivy League colleges are pushing this anti-Semitism. They are pushing this woke education and environment, but they're being supported by the Democrat left. They're this week on The View, Sunny Hostin was adamantly in support of this president, of all of these presidents, and said their remarks, there's nothing wrong with their remarks. Her, along with many Democrats, have been pushing and supporting them throughout all of this. And we've said on the show in the past, the Jewish community overwhelmingly votes Democrat. Mm-hmm. I hope this has opened some eyes and hearts and minds. You are voting for your demise. These people believe in the genocide of your community. Why would you continue to vote for them?
Well, thankfully, some of them are awakening because they are removing or stopping their funding. Right? I want federal funds to stop.
Right.
Why should we be supporting them? They have plenty of money to support and sustain themselves.
I wonder. So this is where I've kind of been thinking about this thing, because I mean, Jews make up 60% of the wealth in the world. I mean, I wonder if they just are laughing, it's so beneath them, like the rich Jews are just let them talk, because I know who I am. I don't know why they are not acting or acting on it, or they still choose to vote Democrat. I don't know, but part of me wants to believe that we're the idiots, we're the brokies down here, while they're just taking it.
I don't know. Well, it's like a lot of Black people. They keep voting like KJ said. They're voting against their own interests.
They're not, but they're not though. That's
what
they
are. Yes, they are.
You can't.
Yes, they do.
We will talk about this a little later, but
I mean, I don't care
how much money you have. If you have a group of people who want to see you dead, you and your next generation after generation, I don't care how much money you have, that's a major issue. That's a major problem.
But I don't know.
Eyes are opening up right now. Speaking about Jewish people, I think people, a lot of them, I'm hoping, and that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
their eyes are being opened up on what the Democrat Party, because I'm seeing people commenting on the internet saying, "Oh, I'm watching Fox News for the first time in my life." Like,
because Fox News is the only one that would cover the Hamas.
I don't know. We keep saying that like this subset of people just didn't know, and I just
what it is that just like we as Americans in general, just like we've gotten comfortable and taking things for granted, so do the Jews. And in every generation, I don't know how the Jews say it, but in every generation, the Jews need a wake up call, and this happens to be the one for them right now.
Yeah, and not only that, I don't know. I think as conservatives, we don't realize how deep this propaganda runs. You know, the left has control of the media, of the culture, of education. And so they have used this to perpetuate this idea that Trump, you know, Republicans, MAGA, ultra Republicans are to be feared. You know, this is what they're using in this whole next.
They always use that white supremacy.
They're using this, and it's actually working. It is working. And I hope it's not working because, you know, it looks like Trump is going to be the nominee. But the amount of fear that they have baked into this idea that Trump is an evil person, MAGA Republicans are evil. We want to see the death of this country. We want to overturn democracy, all this type of stuff. It runs deep.
To answer your question, like what people are thinking, I think people did not realize how much anti-Semitism there is on the left. I think when a Jewish person hears that, oh, we're for equality, we're for everyone, we're for everyone's rights, you know, they assume, oh, it's for our rights too. And they don't realize that actually there's so much anti-Semitism on the left. And when they say, oh, you know, Trump is like Hitler, well, everybody knows, you know, Hitler was killing Jews, so, you know, let's be afraid of that side. So that's what happened in the Soviet Union. How Soviet Union actually came to be is because a lot of Russian Jews were turning into Marxism, because there was they were like this. They were spearheading Marxist revolution in Russia, the Jewish population, because they were intellectuals. They you know, addressed there was a lot of anti-Semitism in Russia prior to the revolution. And when these people learned about Marxism, many of them were not religious already. So these Jewish people were not religious, like they were not practicing. And so they felt that if we eliminated religion altogether, that it will solve a problem of anti-Semitism or, you know, attacks based on religion. If we made everybody equal, you know, we all just one people with there's no possessions and whatever, so that it will solve the problem. And in fact, like 10 years or 15 years into the Soviet Union, Stalin went specifically after many of the Jews. Because they were the most critical, because they realized, you know, oh, this is not working, there's something wrong. And so then they were, you know, slaughtered by the Marxists.
So KJ, to your question about what you were saying, how this propaganda is so deep, I want to attempt to answer. One of the things that I think Dennis Prager has said this: the natural state. People think humans are naturally courageous. No, we know what people want at the core. They want to be secure. So if I can see how Jews, they can go to these ideologies, or they can be inundated with them, and because they think that the left is safer. Like you said, KJ, they make the right look to be the Hitlers, or, you know, look like we're the boogeymen, but they're actually going to the side that wants to destroy them. Marx was born to Jewish parents. Freud was a Jew, born to Jewish people. Wow. Jan is exactly right. A lot of the early prominent Marxists, if you will, were of Jewish ancestry.
Wow.
So they think these ideologies are going to provide them safety and security.
Yeah, and you even see it, like, even in the conflict that's over there, like the the Jews are going against Benjamin Netanyahu, like, because he's a conservative. I believe that these people hate God. And so if you're a Jew, it's kind of, you know, I guess I don't quite understand why you would side with people who hate God.
Well, I think they don't, I mean, they either, I don't know what it exactly, but it could be maybe dismissing God as being all powerful, that now people are kind of thinking that, well, it's, they don't realize the power of God. I think that's what they have forgotten. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, they want security. What did I'm sorry, I keep saying Egyptians. What did the Hebrews say when they first got out of Egypt? Take me back to Pharaoh, at least we could eat. And they were free. They were free. They didn't want the freedom. They wanted security. They wanted the food.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we will continue to follow this story. I really hope this woman is fired. It looks like she's not going to be. She does have a lot of support in
Black women.
Yeah.
Protect Black women.
Right.
Well, I don't know if the other one, the MIT woman, I don't know if she resigned or was fired yet either. So
you know, the whole Protect Black Women, you know, movement.
That's right. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's sad. But we're moving right along.